Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and I'm going to start this transmission off with something really cute and funny. For those of you who are in the inner circle, for those of you who know exactly, what it is that I'm doing here, what my mission is here, I'm getting ready to show you something. Guess what came into the mail for me yesterday? All right. Do you see them? Okay. Now, this was gifted to me by a darling sister goddess, an Ima Agavuret. Okay. I did not ask her for this. She was already tapped in. She understood what time it is. She don't even realize why she sent it. The day before, this one came. This is no lie. Okay. So for the inner circle, who know exactly what it is that I'm here to do, that is letting you know time is short. It's on its way. All right. Okay. And I'm going to deal with that a little later on to figure out exactly what is needed. Okay. But that's a part of that. I'm just preparing you. It is manifesting. It is manifesting. Okay. And that's all I can say on this public platform. Time is short. Okay. I have two of them that came in back to back. Recognize the signs and the seasons, please. All right. Now, to deal with today's transmission on a lighter note. All right. So, it has been taught to you, a lot of us who are very, very magical or who like to deal in magic or any type of craft or dark magic or, summoning, whatever it is that, people are getting themselves involved in. There was one key component that most people who are dealing in any type of magic, whether it is dark or light, is very familiar with it. And it is called salt. Okay. You have seen it a lot, when people are doing dark rituals, how they will create salt all around in a circle. Okay. And if they are in this protective circle, apparently no demonic entities or evil entities can come in. And, some people like to put salt around their windows and their doors too, for protection. And it's okay if that's the way that you feel that you need to roll. But I'm here to remind you on something. Okay. Goodness, light, and darkness is actually in your hands. All right. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is, did you forget that we, light workers, light warriors, were called the salt of the earth? Okay. We are the salt of the earth. All right. So what does that mean to you, and how should you be thinking about this term? First of all, what it should say to you is that you have the ability to repel negative forces, to repel evil forces, simply by your existence and harnessing your own light. You are the salt of the earth. Okay. So if you really want to stop all of the negativity, if you really want to stop all of the demonic entities, all you have to be is aligned and stand in your light. Okay. You stand in your light. You represent the creator, and it is naturally repelled from you. Okay. So now thinking on terms of dimensions. Okay. Thinking on terms of timeline splits, dimensions, frequency, vibration, however you want to look at it. If you are the salt of the earth, then no negative entities can be around you, period. So this is the split. Do you understand? I'm going to say this again. Your reality will manifest your stance, your alignment, your earth. Okay? Because you are the salt of the earth, then naturally you're going to repel negative and dark energies. So, case in point, if you're finding yourself in a position of isolation, or your old crew fade out and you got new crews coming in, okay? Or say there was people that's no longer a part of your reality. You don't know why. It's not like you fell out or anything like that. It just faded off. But you are the salt of the earth. Then what you are going to attract is like-minded individuals. Your earth your reality is actually going to manifest the way that you are creating it. All right? I am the salt, so therefore I won't be sitting next to dark entities. I won't draw to me negative energy. Okay? So where I plant my feet when I am walking, all right, and my energetic field expands, it has to naturally push and repel negative demonic forces. If you stop looking at it in terms of what you have to do materially, and you start switching on to that mental alchemy, you understand that some of these rituals aren't even necessary for you. It is your vibration. I am walking salt. Do you get it? Are you listening? Your reality will start to manifest exactly that way. All right? Ye are the salt of the earth. So there is a natural purging that takes place simply by your existence. You don't have to sprinkle it on your windowsills. You don't have to circle around your homes. Your electromagnetic field becomes that safety net. But that's not being taught to you. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I was tapped into the divine last night. Again. And it was a very similar conversation that I had in 2020. I just brought this up again. And the divine told me, you are fearless. I heard the voice that you are fearless. And I told the divine, I'm not fearless. I'm brave. There's a difference. And the difference is, chosen ones, elect ones, is fearlessness has zero fear. Okay? Whereas when someone is brave, they can actively face their fears. So bravery is not the absence of fear. Fearlessness is. So I went back and forth, with the divine last night and saying, no, I'm not fearless, but I am brave. And I heard the voice say again, no, you are fearless. And I had to think about it. What would make me fearless? Well, I realized once again that all fear is literally rooted in mortality. Okay? Or immortality, aka death. But once you realize that there's really no such thing, that I transition from one state to another state to another state, it no longer has a grip on you. Therefore, you do become fearless. Once you realize that you're not afraid to leave this realm or transition to another state of consciousness, there's nothing to fear. Honestly, it isn't. We just completely detached. You're going to know who you are based off of the things that you are really, really attracted to. Okay? I told you a long time ago, I was a huge Star Wars fan. Still am. Can watch it over and over and over and over and over again because I understand the concepts. I relate to this entire franchise. Okay? But the main thing that I started relating to a little later on, okay, with the last one was, of course, the character Rey. The reason why some of us are fearless is because some of us are actually operating as avatars. Follow me when I say this. In the original Star Wars movies, the original Star Wars trilogies, right? I was all wrapped up in this. Ooh, Darth Vader is so evil, so mean. And yeah, he was still one of my favorite characters, which always is weird to me because, you hear the music, the dun, 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 and everybody's glued to the TV and you hear the breathing. And you know that he's getting ready to do something completely badass, right? You know he's getting ready to do it, and you're sitting here going, no, Vader, no. But then that other part of you sitting in and going, yeah, do it, Vader, do it, right? So we got that duality going on. Now, but there was a part in there where Luke was being trained, in the ways of the Force. And he was tapping into himself. And his teacher Obi-Wan Kenobi was assisting in his training, but he had to face off against Darth Vader, who was once his old Padawan. Okay, he taught Vader. He loved him. He loved him. He loved him. And Vader's story is pretty sad and relatable, but at the same time, we're not going to go into that. But he loved him. And Vader stood in front of him. You know, the student now becomes the teacher, master type of arrogance. And he takes his lightsaber out, and Obi-Wan sees Luke watching him. He's trying to get to him. He can't get to him fast enough, you know, but he's watching him. He's watching his master face off his greatest fear, his nightmare. Because Luke knows that one day he's going to have to face off with him too. Follow me? So when this is happening, Darth Vader has his lightsaber. Zoom. Okay? And you see Obi-Wan Kenobi had his, saw Luke, and then dropped his. But it was what he said that stood out to me for years and years and years and years, even into my adulthood. He said, strike me down and I'll become more powerful than you'll ever imagine. Okay? This is something that I adopted into my own consciousness, which is why I guess I could be considered fearless. I know that everything that is about me, my essence, my spirit, my gifting, all of that is limited while I'm in this body. But when you no longer fear death, you realize where the power comes. And that's what made me fearless. Because I realized that if someone was to kill me, it would simply make it worse on them. Do you understand? That I would be, that you would be, that we as a collective would be way more powerful than in our meat suits. And once you get that understanding of resurrection, of ascension, of eternal life, then what is it to fear? You will walk on this earth as the salt. All right? Now, the reason why I said some of us are avatars, and if you know that you are an avatar, you shouldn't be walking in any type of fear of anything anyway, right? Now, what do I mean by avatar? Okay, so I relate to the Star Wars franchise. I see Rey coming into her power, automatically knowing that she, was one with the Force without no initial training. None. Right? She just comes into her own. Something awakens in her. And that's what's happening all around the world right now. That's why it's called the awakening. Okay? But the one thing that was unique about her, yes, she grew up in poverty. Really, really bad. Yes, she had to struggle. Yes, she was abandoned. Yes, she rode by herself. Yes, her best friend was a robot. But she was chosen. Okay? And it was through her hardships. It was through her adversity. It was through her abandonment, her poverty, her struggle, that she became chosen. All right? Now, you see in the very last movie of this, she fights off against Kylo Ren. They're fighting each other because there is a interesting dynamic that is taking place at this time. And if you're not paying attention to the franchise, you're not going to get it. Rey was a Palpatine. Okay? Rey was genetically connected and a part of the lineage of the dark side. Okay? So, her power came from the dark side. Okay? She was awakened by her grandfather, Emperor Palpatine, the puppet master. Now, but even though that ran through her blood, she understood free will, and she chose to fight on behalf of the Skywalker, the light beings, okay, and to protect their realms. On the flip side of this, Kylo Ren is a Skywalker. He came from the light. And he used his free will and chose the side with the dark side. Pay attention. I'm telling you a story within a story. Okay? And for those of you who are in the know, you understand the story. Just because you are connected lineage-wise to a certain sect does not mean that you are the epitome of whatever it was that they stood for. Rey was dark. Kylo Ren was light. And it was their both of their experiences that had them switch roles. Okay? In the end, she has to face off with him. But throughout the whole series, you just saw a push and pull and push and pull and push and pull dynamic. And the push and pull dynamic was each one of them thought that their perspective was right and was really trying to draw the other into their side. Okay? One's pulling one to come to the light. The other one's pulling the opposite to go to the dark. And only in the end, sorry, somebody's calling, of course. Only in the end did they find the balance. All right? It was when they actually had to fight. And she wounded him very, very, very seriously. He could have died. But her love, as being part of the light, did not kill him. Instead, she healed him. And when she healed him, that's when he experienced unconditional love for the first time. And them two went and fought against the emperor. They found the balance. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Those of us who are avatars, okay, and there is a part in that movie where you will see Rey is getting tore up, okay? Kylo Ren is getting tore up too. But this is such a badass part of this. Because both of them were telepathic, and both of them had the ability to jump through dimensions, even though they didn't really know how they did it. You know, they were just learning as they go. When Rey had two lightsabers getting ready to face off on a legion of demons, right? Kylo Ren, on the other end, at the bottom, was facing off too with no lightsabers, but just standing his ground. You know, he had some force power, but he needed his saber. You see in this movie, Rey pull a lightsaber out, and then it switches, and then you see Kylo Ren grabbing that same saber, and they're both going to war. All right? She equipped him with what was necessary in that particular dimensional space. All right? And he was able to fight the same way she was able to fight, and then they ended up fighting together. But avatars, pay attention to this part. When they both got wounded, because this Emperor Palpatine, he's a bad mother. He brought them together, actually, to siphon both of their light from them, okay? He was the mastermind of bridging these two together so that he can feed off of their energy and he can resurrect himself. When they both was wounded and to the point that they had no energy left, was on their way, you know, dying or whatever, when you see Rey close her eyes, every Jedi from the beginning of time started speaking to her and giving her their strength. She became the avatar. Do you understand? Pay attention. We are unlocking things in our DNA, okay? And some of us who are avatars have the ability to take information, pull power, pull information genetically from our ancestors of old. We didn't have to go to school to do it. It's called being chosen. Okay? This is for both women and men. The avatars of this earth, your ancestors, your lineage, the Elohim, your DNA, all of that stuff that's going on within you is becoming awakened and unlocked. Knowledge passed down from generations and eons and eons and eons and eons is flowing through your blood. Your meridians, causing your meridians to light up. And you end up knowing exactly what it is that you need to do when it's time to do it. The avatar, the last airbender. These are real concepts. Okay? I know that it's given to you in Hollywood and you think that it's fiction or sci-fi and it's fun. I am living witness to tell you that this is a reality. There are memories that I can tap into and figure out the real story behind it. All right? Avatars, chosen ones, elects, you are the salt of the earth. And if you all collectively understand this power and harness this power, you will see your reality change. You will repel, just like the salt that they put around themselves in rituals. You're not going to need it because you are it. And not only that, but all of the gods, the ancients, the Elohim, the ancestors are alive in you. Can you understand what I'm saying? I hope so. Okay? That's all I have for you guys today. Now, just a friendly reminder, if you're trying to schedule any type of sessions or readings or anything like that done for me, just send me a quick email, dragonlotusms@yahoo.com. Chances are it'll be after 4 o'clock or later on in the evenings because I have something really important I got to work on in the mornings. And number 2, for the Patreons, all right, I am giving you an exclusive breakdown on the descent of Inanna. All right, you have heard the stories before. You have read the accounts. You haven't heard it this way, though. Okay? From that essence herself. Okay? Now, this breakdown is going to help you, divine feminines, identify with some of these archetypes. Okay? And like I said before, you're going to know where you flow by the things that you are attracted to. So if I like Star Wars and I like Rey and Jedis and Siths and the Greys, even the Greys are awesome to me. You know what I mean? They don't pick one side or the other. They just do what's right. Right? They just do what's right at the moment. But if you are into that, or even if you like X-Men, okay, now I like X-Men too. But of course, I'm attracted to Jean Grey. I'm also attracted to the Dark Phoenix. Do you understand? Now, you're going to learn the things that you are attracted to. I like Dragon Ball Z. Go figure. I would like dragons, wouldn't I? Dragon Ball Z. Yes. I like Dragon Ball Z. I like looking at the Kai versus the gods of destruction and how they balance out things in the universe. Core principle teachings can be found in a lot of anime. And not only that, but comic books as well. And most importantly, sci-fi movies that have lasted the test of time. It's because they have key principle parts in there that you need to understand. I am challenging you, light warriors, light workers, to follow this franchise and understand the universe from a higher perspective. Understand what the avatar can represent. And then identify if you are one. An avatar, a bodhisattva, any of those, right? Find yourself, know yourself, okay? And we're almost at the end of month, so I'm getting ready to do the raffle. I found a little electronic raffle to go ahead and start giving away next month. One of you will get a beautiful prize from me. I am Sophie. I love you all. Bye.